Hello and welcome to the King's Forum podcast show. Two special guests back on our show again, Virtuous Vibes. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Good to be back.
Nice to have you back. Herbal Vibes, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm great, man. Always a pleasure to be on here, man.
Yeah, always good vibes. Virtuous Vibes, what are we talking about today? What are we discussing?
So our topic today, guys, is what does success mean to you? So that's the first question. Mike, what does success mean to you?
Yeah, I was thinking about this, and it would have been very different years ago. I would have said it was all about the big house, the big car, the Rolex watch, living in designer clothing, having the most beautiful woman on my arm, making serious money every year, and just living the life, It's changed because the older you get, you focus on what's really important, and it isn't the materialistic gains. It's things like happiness and peace and doing something that's worthwhile and making a difference. So success to me, instead of having all these big goals of the big house, the big car, and all of this stuff, I have a little small wins for me. And that's maybe doing a job that's making a difference, that makes me happy. Finding things in my life, going back to things like, self-love and self-care, starting off with me first, rather than looking on the outside. I'm looking at the internal instead of the external, and just focusing on what makes me happy and and for me, and that's success. For me, it seems smaller than that, but it's actually a massive thing. Because if you aren't happy within yourself, then you can't live a happy life. So everything else, I believe in karma and things like that, and giving off positive vibes and attracting positive things your way. So for me, it all starts from looking in and dealing with the inner work. And for me, that's success, and being successful is me being happy within myself.
No, 100%. And I agree with that as well. What about you, Herbal Vibes?
Yes, like in the materialistic world that we live in, success is like branded as like, yeah, you got a big wad of cash, big flash house, blah, blah. But for me, success is taking care of my family. You know what I mean? Being a good dad to my son. Self-growth, like all this, everything, like how you feel on the outside starts from within. So it's like you talk about self-care, self-growth. It's all about that. That's what makes you happy. If you're happy, and suppose if you're happy and you're not as rich as other people, you're still happy. And if you're rich but you're unhappy, you're unhappy. You know what I mean? So money don't make you happy. At the end of the day, it can make you happy, but it don't make you happy. For me, it's like I'll prefer to have more money so it gives me more time to spend with my family. So I'm not working long hours, you know what I mean? So for me, money gives you something which is more precious, which is time.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And I totally agree with you both, because, like Mike said, in another time, I would have said success was something materialistic, something that you could physically see. It was something that was flashy. Everyone was like, "Wow, I want to have that. How do you get this? Like, how did you?" And everyone's like, "Wow, you got this and that." But like Mike, you said as well, like as you grow, you change. And I've come more into myself, and that's what's making me feel like I'm successful, because I'm now on this personal and spiritual journey to be in a better state of mind, living a true life that's more aligned with me, being authentic. All areas of my life are in harmony. That's what success is to me. There's that balance. There's no tension. There's less stress. Those are the things that make me feel successful, and everyone around me that I love and care about are just happy.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Yeah, you know what you made me think about, Scott, when money can't buy you love.
Yeah.
I started thinking, I started like kind of taking that apart and then putting it back together again in my mind. And I was thinking more deeply into it. I was thinking more, money doesn't ensure, the most money you have doesn't ensure that you love yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you think about all these billionaires who are unhappy, who are like the most horrible people, some of them, not all of them, some of them are horrible people. I've met some really rich people and they're not nice people to be around.
Yeah.
It just shows you, you know, and it's self-love so important to anything.
Yeah.
Anything you do, because you think about that, and they've been chasing this thing of, you know, they've been chasing the paper all their lives. They get there and it's like, what is this? What do I have here? Is it of any real value? And my mom used to always say that you can't take it with you. So when you die,
100%. It's like Biggie's tune, more money, more problems. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah, man.
It's more about being content within yourself.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you can have all this money, but if you're not feeling right on the inside, it's all gonna like come crumbling down.
Yeah.
So
no, it's true. And also money is energy.
Yeah, of course.
And I think knowing that money is energy and tapping into that money energy as well, that's what helps you appreciate your money. And it's the appreciation, like you know, are saying, keep saying the word self-love. Your inner world becomes your outer world. You can get like the most amount of money in the world, but if your inner world is not at peace, your outer world's always going to be conflicted.
Yeah.
So there's just no point. Yeah, okay, the money can buy you the house, the car, the things that you were lacking. But then if you don't have that money mindset, you're always going to have that lack and the fear of lacking and losing that money.
Yeah.
So then it's causing more stress. So you're never happy. You're always at some sort of stress.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. And you just made me think again about kind of the role models, especially the youth look up to.
Yeah.
You know, driving, you know, their Mercedes, their, you know, Rolls Royces, Aston Martins, whatever, Lamborghinis, all of this stuff. Wearing their Rolex and their iced up chains and iced up watches and things like that. But there's no message about how do you get there. And not only that, how do you maintain it so you don't lose it? You know, there's no like real messages. It's like, yeah, I drive this, I drive that, I treated my girl to this, I took her here, I took her there. But you know, that's not real value you're teaching the next generation. You're not showing them how to make it and how much graft you've had to put in to get to that point. And I think the learnings to be had from the process rather than the outcome. It's the journey, the learning, the learning's will come from. So maybe rap more about that or sing more about those things, because that's more learning to say, wow, actually, you have to work for this. You have to grind to get that. It's not just come like that. You know, I'm not going to make one rap tune and then I'm going to make £1 million and then I can go and buy as much ice as much as I want. So, you know what I mean? So it's putting things into perspective, because we see these images, and yes, don't get me wrong, that is following what's the in thing now and what the latest trend is. But I think, you know, even rappers and even people, you know, role models need to think about kind of, you know, their longevity and what they'll be remembered for. You know, because sometimes you're in these positions and you're doing things, and yeah, it's for the minute, yeah, you're hot. But when you're not, what are you going to be remembered for? So, you know, and that's how I think about stuff when I'm doing things. I think about, what am I going to be remembered for? For just following trends and not really helping others, or, you know, what's going to be my legacy? What am I leaving behind?
Yeah, what was your message?
Yeah,
it's like a lot of these like celebrities these days, they're flaunting their lifestyle in your face. It's like, that's why you got kids. Like back in the days, we was wearing like high techs, you know, you know what I mean. Now you got kids wearing Moncler, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They want to get the latest trends because that's what they see their celebrities. I mean, when we was younger, it was there, but you had like rappers like who had a revolutionary message. you can gain something from him. But these celebrities these days, you can't really. What is the message? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%.
No, I agree as well. And you guys, like I say, it always gets deep with you guys, man. Because it's true. If we're looking at the icons, the role models that are in front of us, like no wonder this generation are on the rat race chase to get these things, because that's all that's presented in front of them. Like you said, Mike, it's the results, not the how to. And then when anyone else wants to become an entrepreneur or do their own thing, they fail at the first hurdle because they're never equipped with the tools in how to get there. And then, yeah, like at the moment I'm reading what's that? Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
And in that, the first chapter just blows you away because you then understand where there's the lack of money intelligence. The way we speak about money, our mindsets around money. So then when we acquire these things, and even it doesn't even necessarily have to be money, it's like materialism, anything, you can transform your mindset into all aspects of your life.
Yeah.
If you have a lack mindset in any way, everything is just lack and scarcity. And the way you speak about it, that's why you can't acquire it. And when you get it, you just blow it because you come with greed. Once you get money, then there's greed. It says that we're living in the emotions and the fears, and that's what drives us to take the actions, and then that's what leads to the results.
Yeah, definitely.
And these kids don't understand that process. So that's when I think these talks that we do is always great because they're educating people who are watching it to understand that there's lessons to be learned. There's tools out there that will equip you to go and seek the knowledge you need to get to where you want to be.
Yeah, 100%.
But people think that the external will make them happy. But the key to everything, to success, to everything, is internal.
Yeah,
it's like Rich Dad, like you were saying with the Rich Dad Poor Dad, it's the lack, right? The lack is internal, so you got to fix that. So that's why people are going broke. That's why people are doing this and that, because they're not right within. Because once you have that within, it will flourish from the outside.
Yeah, definitely.
That is the power, man.
Yeah, we need to take back that power. That's the thing. It's knowing the power, acquiring it, and taking it back and owning it. I think that's really important. So, guys, when it comes to success in all aspects of your life, like, have you guys taken risks? And what risks have you taken?
Yeah,
What's nothing?
I've not taken many. I played it safe, man. Most of my life, the majority of my life, I played it safe because I've been too afraid of if it fails and if it doesn't, if I don't succeed in this venture or whatever. So I've kept it safe most of my life because I've liked the security of knowing that the paycheck's coming in this time, knowing what I'm doing, or what I'm confident in what I'm doing day to day. So I've not taken many risks for that success. This is all new. What I'm doing now is the risk. To me, it's not a risk anymore, but it was when I thought about it because I built it up in my head to be this major thing. And actually, yes, it is because the message that we're putting out, but to actually do it's not the biggest deal. But I remember the procrastination. It took me ages just to start my first video, to do my first video and put it on YouTube because of doubts and things like that. So no, I've not taken many risks. I've kept really safe. Career, even relationships and things. I've been very safe. The type of woman that I know, I can trust, and it's a lot of safe. So it's recently now I've come into my own because I've done a lot more of the inner work, where I'm like, you know what? Let's do something that you wouldn't normally do here. Let's say yes to someone that you normally say no to, in regards to doing something. I don't know, a project, a collaboration, whatever it is. And so now I'm taking a risk. The older I've become and the more mature, I feel like there's so much growth to be had in coming outside of your comfort zone and doing something you've not done before, and so much learning from that. So now I'm taking the risks. Now I'm doing other things that I wouldn't normally, and You know, even when I get the negative feedback, like I've said before, I've had lots of negative feedback about these videos and what I put out initially. That I got that when I first came out was a lot of negative stuff, saying, you know, people won't listen, people, you know, all this type of thing. So, you know, and that's good as well, because you need that. You need to look at yourself and start, you know, asking yourself why you do things. So yeah, sometimes we build things up in our heads to be this massive obstacle to overcome, but it's not really. It's just, you know, fear, anxiety, and but we just have to overcome that and make that negative voice that we sometimes hear. You just make that really small. It's always there. You always have doubts. That's just us as human beings, but it's just about feeling the fear and doing it anyway.
No, that's amazing. And do you know what I mean? I respect your honesty as well, especially like talking about things like fear, doubt, and how it would get you, especially with that negative feedback. Like you dealt with that well. Because like me, I'm in a position, I think the negative feedback is what keeps me in my lane. Like I'm scared to deal with that, because I think when people go into things like what we're doing, like putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, speaking your truth, is when people come with that feedback. Like you have to equip yourself to know how to deal with that, because there's always going to be trolls.
Always.
There's always going to be a hater. There's always going to be someone, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're just bad people. You don't know what they might have had a bad day and decided to take it out on you, or something happened, or they might be jealous of you because they wish that they could have that confidence and stuff, and instead of channeling it in the right way, they channeled it in a bad way, and that obviously it hurts you because you receive it, but you know, at least you dealt with it really, really well, man. That's admirable.
Listen, there's more to come as well. Listen, I'm sure I'm going to get there'll be some racism come out. There's going to be some, listen, it's anything they want to keep you down, don't they, these people?
Of course.
They don't want you to succeed. So they're going to try things let me throw him off his course. He's on this path, this trajectory that, you know, he's going, now, let me knock him off. Let me throw this. And as you said, a lot of it's jealousy, hate, envy, you know, those type of words. But, you know, wherever there's light, there's going to be darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to keep the positive message, but there's always going to be something negative come up. It's just how this world is, unfortunately. But yeah, you know, it was very difficult, first of all, dealing with the negativity, because remember, when you're doing something new, you have doubts anyway. So all someone's doing is put more fuel to that fire. So then that just ignites even more in you. So then the anxiety and everything it just went a bit crazy for a second. It just blew up, and I was just like, wait a minute here, why did I want to do it? What was my message behind this? Because I'm tired of watching rubbish on YouTube, and I wanted to put something positive and get a nice message out there for real people to have their say in a safe space for them. So then you just look at that and reflect on that. So yeah, don't get me wrong, it wasn't easy. You know, but you work through it like everything. That's an obstacle. You get over it somehow. You find your way over it to the other side.
No, man, that's amazing. And to be honest, I'm glad you battled with it, because what you're doing is truly amazing. Like I've said that from day one, man. You're always spitting fire. So I'm glad that you took the risk to do what you need to do, because these things and these messages and these things that you're creating, it is definitely needed to be out 100%,
there. Man.
Oh, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it, man. You're trying to get me emotional on there, man. Come on.
Always, man. We have to be in our feelings.
Listen, man, take it easy.
What about you, Herbal Vibes, man? Let's get at you.
Yeah,
what risk have you taken?
I would say, yeah, similar to Mike, man. I wasn't really a risk taker, you know, like growing up, I've been really laid back. Yeah. And I would say like procrastination is my worst enemy. But me, like, it's like, yeah, you get comfortable. It's like you're working a job, you're like, yeah, they pay good, blah, 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 blah. It's like you're getting that comfortability. Then like 6 years down the line, you're still here, you know what I mean? It's like, it's easy to get comfortable, but at the end of the day, like now I'm like, I'm just going to do what I'm doing, you know what I mean? I don't really care what people think of me. Yeah. You're always going to get haters. Yeah. It's like they say, you could walk on water, and people will say you can only walk on water because you can't swim. So you're always gonna get them haters, man, because everyone's got an opinion, man.
Yeah.
Everyone's got an opinion, but just speak your truth, do your truth. Like me doing this podcast right now, I never thought in a million years I'll be on a podcast speaking, but I'm here, man. So it's like, you got to take risks, man, because at the end of the day, if you stay on that same level, that's all you will be, on that same level, man. And you always, down the line, you think, what if?
Yeah.
Just do it, man. Just do it. Don't say what if, just do it, man.
Yes, great. Just do it. Yeah.
100%.
No, but it's good. You always come and spit and fire as well. Like, you're so intellectual and you're wise as well. You're always bringing knowledge to the table. That's why I love doing these podcasts with you two, because you guys always like open up my mind even more and teach me
That's a
things that
pleasure,
I
man.
didn't even think about.
It's a pleasure, man.
Yeah, because
Yes.
I can third that. Like, I've been in that space. Like, you guys, fear, doubt, even wanting to be a coach.
Yeah.
I get scared to put myself out there because I'm like, I have never done something like this before. Yeah, I help people in my day-to-day life and I can support them and I can motivate anyone and get them from A to B. But it's like, how do I serve many more people? But then the coaches, they got a system. So how do I create a system? How do I do this to really maximize and put out a powerful message, a powerful program, a powerful service that will really hit true with what I'm trying to give to people, my gift that I know, not this gift that everyone else got. Everyone's got individual gift. So the gift that I have within me, how do I tap into that and make it so powerful enough that it serves many?
Yeah. No, I hear that. We can chat off camera because one thing about me, Virtuous Vibes, is I've got tons of ideas. So we can chat. I got tons, man. So that's how my brain works.
It's all about building, man.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I've got the ideas, but it's always that doubt. It's always the fear of.
That's natural. That's natural. Listen,
Yeah.
every master was once a disaster.
100%.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people need to remember. Yeah. I need to remember that every day. I think I'm going to put that on my wall. So when I wake up and I do something, because I look at my son and when he tries something, like the other day, he stood up on the slide and jumped from the slide to the cushion. And he didn't even care. There was no thought, no nothing. He just knew I want to do it.
Kids are just like,
and I'm like, why can't I tap into that? I want to get rid of all these limiting beliefs that I have so that I can really channel my power and do the inner work. So then when it comes to these things, I'm just like, this is nothing. I'm going to do this. I want this.
Listen, Bill Gates was a nobody.
100, yeah.
True.
Mr. Bezos, Amazon, he was a nobody. They were selling books online.
No, it's true.
It's like you got to look at failure differently. Like one person will look at failure like I failed, but another person will look at failure like I just learned something. You know what I mean?
That's what it is.
It's a learning curve, man. It's like they say, the master and the beginner. The difference between them is the master's failed hundreds of times and the beginner's scared to fail.
Yeah.
He has that experience. Knows how to overcome the hurdles. He's seen it. He's seen it before. He knows he's learning from what the mistakes he's made, and he's grown from it. So then the next time these hurdles, because there's always hurdles. The next time a hurdle comes up, he knows. Listen, I'm going to jump this way because I know if I jump this way, I'm not going to hurt myself when I land.
Yeah, definitely, man.
So,
once you get to that end, once you see the light at the end of the tunnel, you appreciate it more because you put in that more.
And I think that's the thing that I love. No, sorry, go.
No, go.
I say go. You say go, Scotty. I know, you know what? Yeah, it is too much out here, but I'm getting my vitamin D, so I'm gonna take my sunshine.
I see that sun shining on your.
I know you can see the little thing here, isn't it?
What's that? The cocoa bar, yeah.
Listen, man. I don't know where this sun came from, man. It's traumatizing me. You say I've got my little setup here, and I'm like squinting at the camera half the time, and I'm just like, I'm gonna roll with it.
Vitamin D, man. You know what I mean?
We need it.
Man.
Carbonated people, man. We need that.
I'm sucking it up, guys. Don't worry. I'll suck it up for you guys and send you some later. Don't worry.
Yeah, why not?
But then let's go into resources and tools. Like, what resources and tools do you guys use to help you on your journey to success? Like, how do you tap into these things?
That's interesting. I never really think about it, but yeah, there's, you know what it is, because we talked a lot about the inner work. So we do things that keep, and for me, the older I've got, that word peace is like, that's so important to me. That peace, that tranquility, that calm. Because in that space, that's when the ideas come. That's when the positive thinking comes. So meditation, my yoga, looking at positive podcasts, inspirational quotes, doing podcasts, doing this stuff makes me even more creative. Because you guys give me ideas just chatting here and thinking about our next videos and Black History Month this month and things like that. So it keeps it flowing. And for me, surround yourself with positive people. Positive things will grow. Yeah. You're planting positive seeds, ain't it? And then they'll blossom and they'll bloom, and it's just more positivity, ain't it? So that's what I try and do. I keep out the way of negativity and things that don't serve me. They don't serve my soul and serve me well. Anything toxic. I try and keep out of that, and my space and the people I'm around. I'm just on this whole positive vibes thing, and that helps me, and that keeps me grounded. It keeps me level-headed, and it keeps me focused. And it's one thing at a time, and that's one thing as well, is realistic goals. So next week might be, let me do a couple of podcast videos, and that's a successful week for me. You see what I mean? So I'm downscaling instead of this big picture of, I want 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year and all this stuff. I'm keeping it. I'm focusing on putting good, positive vibes out to the world. Happiness and love and joy, and just doing some good stuff.
I just enjoy the ride, bro, man. Enjoy the ride.
Yeah, that's why I try and have a laugh on these things as well, because it's, life's too short. We got to enjoy it, man. And I'm a believer of life is what you make it.
No, 100%, it's true. What about you, Herbal Vibes?
Yeah, man, like breath work, you know what I mean? Just to mellow me out, man. Like Mike said, meditation, man. I like the internet, man. That's been a great resource, man, because without internet, man, you learn so much. You do so much research. YouTube, man. YouTube's great. Podcasts, motivational speakers. You find like different motivational speakers like David Goggins, you know what I mean? Like Les Brown, Tony Robbins. And like you just tap into different people, different cultures, different like different ways, like breath work, meditation, and all that, man. Just like without the internet, we wouldn't be like communicating right now, man. So it's just it's a great resource, man.
Yeah. It's like anything. There's pros and cons for so many things, isn't there? There's a lot of negatives about the internet, but a hell of a lot of positives.
Yeah,
and where it's taken on and with technology and what it's helped businesses thrive and things like that. It's done a lot of great, but there's a lot of negativity as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And the powers that be can do a lot more to stop that negativity. But
they don't want to. Do you know what I mean? That's how they keep us contained.
Exactly. They use it for negative instead of positive, you know what I mean?
But yeah, I agree. There's so much good that has come from this, and so many things you can learn. There's so much knowledge there if you just look in the right places.
It's true.
Yes, I think it's like they said they've connected the world and separated us at the same time, because you know what I mean. So it's good to build face to face as well, man. You know what I mean? That's the best way, man, because you can feel the energy, you can feel the vibration of that person. You know what I mean?
No, 100%.
Better that than to be social distant.
It's true. That's the thing. Like another resource that's good is community.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, with the that's only because you said social distancing, and I'm thinking, because that's what's helped me. I've tapped into so many different communities on my journey, and you know, connecting and meeting so many different people and hearing their life stories and what they've been through and what they did to get through it or what they did to grow in these different ways, it kind of like gives you all these different tools and resources that you might not even known on, you might missed when you did research because you're only researching certain things that you know. So it just opens up your mind and helps you to expand. And I'm a bookworm, so I love my books. So I'm always tapping into all these amazing books. Like if you see my book list on Amazon, it's actually crazy. Like I bought so many books and I haven't even got through them. And then I've got a massive book list, so I'll be reading for the rest of my life.
Listen, knowledge is power.
Yeah, 100%. You don't know everything. Like Tim Han says, the most dangerous thing you can say, sentence in this world that you can say is, I already know that. Because you don't, unless you live it, breathe it, it's everything you do, you don't know that.
Yeah, you need to
you have to keep learning and you have to keep doing that repetition to kind of program yourself to be that way.
Yeah.
There's so much knowledge out there. You learn. That's why they say the more you know you know nothing at all.
Yeah.
Because there's so much knowledge out there, man.
100%. And I think it's just important that we all like tap into these resources, because it's like, take a fraction of your life. What do you want to grow in? Which areas do you want to grow in? And then just go into, like we're doing a podcast, go on Instagram or social media. You can find these people, like just type in kind of what you're looking for. You can see so many people doing it. You can ask people questions. People are open to tell you things. You get coaches, mentors. Like the list is like limitless. And that's the thing as well, people need to understand, like possibilities are limitless. There's endless possibilities in this world. So there's endless knowledge, endless resources. You just have to know where to find them and tap into that.
Definitely.
It's really important.
And we are limitless as well, man. We're infinite consciousness, man. That's what I mean, man. We are limitless, man. We're just brainwashed to think that we are limited. But we have got the ability to do whatever we want, man.
Yeah, that's why we get that limiting beliefs. So we start living in our limitations, but we're not. So guys, I want to know, how do you stay inspired and motivated?
That's a good one, because that goes, that there's so many ups and downs with that, isn't it? With motivation at times, because you're a human being. You're not always going to be on it. I'm not always going to be, 100% at my best. I might be going at like 70%, 60%, 50%, but it's finding your way back and to a level that you've done enough. I've done my best at that time, and that's all I could give, was my best at that time. And it may not be my ultimate best, but at that time, these are the energy levels I had, and this is what I can give. So how do I stay motivated? It's by having a realistic goal is one thing, because unrealistic goals, not having smart objectives that you can focus on, and they're very specific to how you're going to achieve things, it just demotivates you. So that can be demoralizing in itself, is that you're never achieving these things that you're going for. So just realistic ones every week. Some, nice and simple goals you aim for, you achieve them. And even if you achieve half of them, it's something towards your target and what you're going for. So again, it's just having a positive mindset. It's knowing that, you'll get there, and just keep on working on it. And, motivation comes when I'm doing this podcast, is having a positive feedback. That motivates me. I'll tell you what, negative feedback motivates me as well. Because you need to use that negativity to, as I said, when I was talking about earlier, to look at why you're doing things and why you want, and what the outcomes you want from what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve. So negative and positive motivate me. Yes, there may be a little dip when I first hear the feedback, but then after that, I then look at it. As I said, I have it on the wall in my studio here, all the negative things that have been said. So I look at that and I'll say, right, okay, what have I done, and am I still going? Because as we talked about earlier, people just want to knock you off your path anyway. So I'm looking at it, I'm going to keep going, but what can I add? And how can I challenge what I'm doing at the moment? So that motivates me. Want to leave a legacy behind. Want to make my wife and my family happy. That motivates me to do good and to make a difference. and just spreading positivity. So those are my motivations for me, and it's quite simple. They're not as big as they used to be. I keep things, you know, all very tangible and, you know, within touch and distance, and I'm not going for these incredible tasks. I'm doing one step at a time, and that gradual growth, because I find I work better with that. Because when I was younger, I used to give myself massive targets every year with my New Year's resolutions. I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, but they weren't realistic, because you know they were unrealistic, because it was asking for too much of a leap from one position to another. So I was like, gradual. I'm going to take stages. I'm going to do the learning to help me along that process and to get me to this goal. So that's what I do a lot more now. I work on how I'm going to work with the process to get me there.
No, that's amazing. That's really insightful. That's something I have to even think about, especially the goals, because me and goals, phew, we are not best friends right now. So I really need to incorporate that into my life. 100%. What about you, Herbal Vibes?
Yeah, man, it's like you get them days, man. It's like when you get up at like 4:30 in the morning, you think, gotta go work again, man. It's just what gives me the motivation when I look in the bed and I see my son and my wife, you know what I mean? That's my why, you know what I mean? They give me motivation every day to get up. It's like little things like you said, be positive minded. Like positive self-talk, man. So sometimes you gotta tell yourself you can do this, man. Sometimes you gotta give yourself positive affirmations, man. Make you believe in yourself. And also like listen to like motivational speakers like David Goggins, man. That guy gives me motivation, man. It's like I'll do like these things now, like have cold showers. Do like uncomfortable things, but try and make them comfortable. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm strengthening myself. So those are the sort of things I do. Yeah, it's like minimalist, but yeah, they do help.
Yeah, definitely.
No, it's amazing. And like Mike said, it doesn't have to be extravagant. Just always try and keep it simple and then work your way up. Like sometimes when you do too much, it gets too much. So keep it simple and just make it progress. And I agree with what you guys are saying as well. Like me, it's made me connecting to my why. Like, why am I doing this? What's my purpose in life? And connecting to those kind of things, and always remembering to stay true to what I believe in. And like you guys, I still want to spread a lot of positivity and love, and really raise the energy and vibrations from people around us. And being like, the more I talk with you guys, like, and knowing where I've come from, and there's other people that come from the same path or even worse, is like helping those people to get to where they want to be, creating this shift. Because like I was saying before about community, we're not supposed to be independent, we're supposed to be interdependent. We're supposed to be guys. Like, an amazing talk with you guys. So just to wrap it up, what's your take like on success, and would you guys do anything differently?
My take on success, I think
any advice to the viewers?
And so, sorry,
any advice for anyone out there as well? Sorry.
Yeah. My take on success would definitely be stay true to yourself. Look at what you really value in life, and focus on something that's meaningful and really matters to you. Because I think that's why I changed. I started looking, stopped looking at the external and focused on the internal, and focused on what's important to me and what's going to be of value to me and help others within that time. So and that's how I view success now. So it's something that's going to make a difference, help others, and really fulfill yourself and satisfy your soul. And advice, I would say, just look at what's important to you, focus on that, set yourself realistic goals. Make sure you have a really good relationship with yourself and that communication with yourself, because that's going to help you along that road to achieving what you want to achieve. And at the end of the day, this is the thing though, I'm talking about materialistic things and all that it doesn't serve me, but it might serve someone else. You know, I'm not here to tell people how to live their lives. I'm just saying, for me, I found there was no real worth in the materialistic stuff. But some people might want to chase that big house, might want to chase the fast car. All I'm saying is look at the bigger picture. So when you've got there, is that really going to make you happy? You know, and what have you had to do to achieve that in such a short space of time? So look at the long game. Look at, you know, just doing something that really serves you. And that's what I would say. Set yourself smart objectives, you know, specific, realistic, measurable goals, and do it step by step instead of these massive leaps from one week to the next. Keep them really realistic and achievable and, you know, attainable. And yeah, that's what's worked for me.
No, that's powerful and that's amazing. What about you, Herbal Vibes?
Yeah, my form of success is like being my authentic self, man. Knowing my true self and being happy, man, and taking care of my family and my son. You know what I mean, and my wife. Yeah, just being true to who I am and being who I am, and not really caring what people think of me, man, and just carrying on, man. And my advice would be people, yeah, just be yourself, man, and don't be ashamed of being yourself, and just enjoy the ride, because you're learning something new every day, man. So just enjoy the journey, man, the success journey.
Definitely.
No, wicked. And I would say just me, it's just like everyone's saying, it's inner peace, inner joy, knowing who I am and being true to who I am and not caring what anyone else thinks. And my advice to you guys is assets over liabilities, but also be true to who you are. Like chase the goals that you want to do. Don't forget about all the background noise and what everyone else is telling you to do. You know, stick to the goals and the dream that you've created for yourself, because only you can see that vision. So it's very important that you go after that vision and just go for it. You know, the fear of failure is there, but, you know, be bigger than that voice that you're hearing in your head, because you open that door, there will be dreams and opportunities and miracles on the other side. So just take a chance on yourself.
100%. Love that. Guys, thanks again. Amazing. Loved it. Always a pleasure to have you both.
Always a pleasure, bro.
Always a pleasure to be here.
People, please like, share, and subscribe the video. And see you guys soon, man. One love, yeah?
Take care.
Love, light, and healing.